Hi viewers, welcome to Saturday Sport on ACTN TV. I am Solange and we are in the ASTRA shooting sports, and we are going to be talking with someone that is an incredible lady. She has accomplished a lot of things lately and she has been teaching me how to improve my posture, because in the sport that she is involved, you really need to have a very nice posture. You have to have a lot of physical components. So it is my pleasure to introduce you today to Priyanka Dhanie. So,
Hi Solange, how are you?
Great. Are you going to continue helping me with my posture?
Yes, of course.
Well, why archery? How do you start?
Well, I actually started archery when I was about 15 or 16 years old. And where I live, there's an archery range just a couple of streets away. So my dad, just getting us involved, and my sister and I just getting us involved in different sports to see what we really fit into, what we like, just to be more all-rounded. And when we started archery, because she started with me as well, I kind of just fell in love with it. And, I was good at it. It felt natural. It wasn't as challenging as other sports were for me, and I just fit into it really good. My sister did it with me recreationally for a little while, but it wasn't really for her as it was for me. So I started competing shortly after that, but my parents were really the ones to get me started into it.
For how many years you have been now enrolled in archery?
This is my going into my 5th year. I've been doing it for 4 years competitively. I started just a few months before I started competing. So,
in how many national competitions have you participated?
Well, I've been competing nationally for 4 years. I think this is finishing up my 5th year. So every year there are 2 major national tournaments, the National Indoor Championships and National Outdoor Championships. And between those two, we have a lot of national rankings. So since I started in 2014, I've taken part in almost all of them.
Which are some of your best results in local competitions?
Well, so far every year, at least one national tournament I've taken part in, I've broken national records consistently. So my performance continues to improve. Since I started, I've broken maybe over 20 national records.
Wow.
Yeah. So, every time I take part, and even not just nationally, but regionally and internationally, I have broken national records overseas at tournaments. So my progress has continued over the years.
So have you participated in a competition within the Caribbean?
Yes. I've taken part in the only one so far that I've taken part in consistently since I started was the Southern Caribbean Championships. That is specifically for archery. It's a relatively, not really a new tournament, but it was one of my first major tournaments. And since I started, my first tournament in that one was in 2015, and I've been the #1 in that tournament since I started. And this year was my first time in the CAC Games. And that was just an amazing experience for me, I've been working towards it for a while, and it felt good to be able to qualify and, represent my country there.
What took you to qualify to the CAC Games?
There was a qualifying shoot in Dominican Republic earlier this year in April. The name of the tournament is the Copa Merengue, and it was also a qualifier for the CAC Games. So at that tournament, I earned my spot for Trinidad and Tobago in the compound women's category. And I also broke 2 national records at that event. So, for this year, my performance was the best at that tournament.
What was the first thing that came to your mind when you realized that you had broken the record?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't even, initially, I was just focusing on, keeping a consistent performance. My goal at that tournament was really to earn the spot for Trinidad for the CAC Games, because my goal for this year was just to qualify for the Games, because it is a big tournament for us, And when I found out that I not only earned the spot for Trinidad, and I also broke 2 records in the process, I was overwhelmed. It was an exciting feeling.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So, do you remember when you won your first national competition?
Yeah, it was actually So when I started shooting the compound bow, which was at the end of 2013, my coach at the time asked me if I wanted to take part in a qualifier for our first national, for the nationals next year. And I said, okay, I will take part in it because I love shooting and I was shooting good scores. So I qualified. In our club, out of 26 archers, only 4 of us qualified for nationals, well, with the score. And 3 of them were more experienced senior archers, and I was the only new archer and the youngest. And when I went to that national tournament, it was my first tournament. I was still a cadet, so those are the categories based on age. So I was one of the youngest ones, and I competed as a junior. And the girl I competed against she had been shooting for a number of years before me. And I won that tournament. That was my first national tournament. I won that tournament and I broke a national record that year. And then the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Target Archery Federation had asked me to come back the next day to take part in the MICA tournament, which is the Multi-Site Indoor Championships of the Americas. So that was the first time I represented Trinidad and Tobago. So everything kind of happened in one weekend. It was really, really great.
So which have been the happiest moment in your career so far?
I think there are too many to choose one from, Since I started archery, I've made so many accomplishments, and there are so many that stand out. The most recent one would be qualifying for the CAC Games, because the year I started competing was the first time I knew about archery in the CAC Games in 2014. But I started the year that the team was going to the games, so I couldn't qualify for that one. So I said, you know what, I'm working really hard to qualify for the next one, and I want to be there. And I worked hard every day, I trained for so many years, and I made it. And besides the CAC Games, one of the highlights of my career is being one of the first archers and first female in Trinidad and Tobago to be on the shooting staff of an international archery organization. So that would be Shrewd Archery. I am on their shooting staff, and I'm one of the first persons. My coach is the only other person I know in Trinidad who is on their shooting staff.
Who is your coach?
His name is Daryl Ramnaris. He currently lives in the US, but he is a Trinidadian, and he has represented Trinidad and Tobago in the past.
So do you train here?
I do. However, I attend UE, Caveville in Barbados. So when I'm not here and I'm away at school, I train over there.
So what a day in the life of Priyanka Dhanie, is Dhanie, right?
Yeah.
Is like?
It's always busy. That's one of the best ways I can explain it. We always have something going on, If I'm not, I spend most of my time training, if not on the range, at the gym, or, if I'm not at school. So, my life revolves around my family, my studies, and my sport.
Now, we know that archery is a very, very expensive sport. How do you do it? How do you manage, to train, to go to competitions? How do you get your funding?
Well, so far, I've been very fortunate to get the support of our close friends and family. My family has supported me in so many ways that I can't even describe, And, well, when we travel for tournaments, once we are sent by our national governing body, they usually assist by paying, they usually pay half of the trip for us to go. But if it's an international tournament, because for most of those we have to pay our own way. So that's actually the only reason I haven't been attending more international tournaments, because of the finances. So, recently my dad and I came up with, we found the Sprouts pencil, and that is our avenue for funding right now. That is what we are using to raise funds for me to attend more international tournaments, because I know I'm capable of shooting the scores at an international level. I have good equipment, I have a coach, but a big part of my setback is just the experience of attending more tournaments.
So this is the Sprout pencil.
Yes.
So what is this about? Let me see. So you have a pencil here, right? The pencil is made of what?
So this pencil is made, everything in the pencil is recycled, is made out of recycled materials. So the graphite, the wood from the pencil itself, they're made from sustainable forests. The graphite is recycled. So everything is biodegradable. So it's the world's first sustainable pencil.
Really?
Yes. So it is manufactured in Europe, and we are the only ones with the license to market it here in the Caribbean, in Trinidad.
Oh, you have to have a license to market it?
Yes, because we're not the inventors. It was invented in Europe. So the owners of the company, their focus is currently marketing it in Europe and the US because of the market. They would get more of a response over there rather than a smaller group in Trinidad. So we convinced them with my proposal. The proposal's title is Pursue Your Passion, Plant Your Pencil. So the story behind it is me pursuing my passion in archery, my aim to shoot internationally and represent Trinidad and Tobago, and the pencil's goal is to turn into a plant, so to give back to the environment. So it's an environmentally friendly pencil. So after you use the pencil, when it's too short for you to hold, you turn it upside down and you stick it into the soil and you water it just like a regular seed, and it turns into a flowering plant or vegetables or herbs. There are a variety of different types.
But how you came across this initiative?
Well, we had been looking for a long time for an avenue to raise funds for my career, and we didn't want to just do a bunch of like typical fundraisers like barbecues and that kind of stuff. It didn't really feel like something that we wanted to do. So I've been involved in environmentally friendly initiatives ever since. When I was in school, I was president of the environmental club. I had been in Young Leaders, RBC Young Leaders already, and I studied environmental science in school as well. So just that background that I have with giving back to the environment, this is something that we felt like we could do. So it's not just a fundraiser, but it's also a way to give back to the environment and, help us move one step closer to a more environmentally Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow, this is brilliant. I really like the idea. And it's unique because, as you say, in the sport, everybody's always struggling for funding.
Yes.
But the majority of the people do the same thing, barbecue, car wash, that sort of things. So this is really unique.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So when you, this is a water-soluble capsule at the back of the pencil here. So when you put it into the soil and you water it, it dissolves and it releases the seeds into the soil so that it can grow.
Yeah. As the visionary that you are, because to do something like this, you really have to have like a long vision. This is for a purpose. So I was doing some research about you, and I came across that you are doing this in pursuit of your quest for the 2020 World Championship.
Yes.
So we are going to go into a short break, and after that, you are going to tell us about your plan to get there to the 2020 World Championship. We will be back.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice. ACTN The Voice, your family-friendly station.
Welcome back. So we continue our conversations with Priyanka Dhanie, archery, and we are about to find out about her quest for the World Championship in 2020.
Yes.
What is going to take of you to get there?
Well, currently for compound archery, which is the type of bow that I shoot, the biggest tournament right now is the Archery World Cup. So that happens every year. There are 4 stages in the Archery World Cup. my goal for 2020 is to take part in one of those stages. And, hopefully that will help with my progress in reaching, because you don't have to qualify for every stage to reach the finals, but once you qualify in one stage, you can get to the finals. So my goal is to attend one of those tournaments because it's a big achievement, especially for Trinidad and Tobago, because we don't attend those tournaments regularly. And in order for me to get there, right now, besides the finances, because that is my major struggle, attending international tournaments like the Archery World Cup and even CAC Games, Commonwealth Games, Pan American Games, all of those tournaments, is the finances. The experience that I need to attend and to qualify for big tournaments like that happens when I attend more international tournaments. The more tournaments I attend, the more my world ranking would go up and the better my performance would be in a big tournament like that. So from now until 2020, I'm going to try to take part in as many tournaments as I can. I am actually going to Canada to study in September on a student exchange program it is part of my degree program. So when I go there, I want to try to meet as many international archers as possible. It would be easier to travel to go to tournaments and, compete in as many as I can.
Who is your favorite international archer?
I can't say I have a favorite because, especially at the CAC Games, I met a lot of my role models in archery, in compound women. And some of them at the top of my head are like Linda Ochoa, she's from Mexico, Nora Valdez from Colombia, Sarah Lopez has been one of my role models for a long time too. She's also from Colombia, and they are just among some of the top archers in the world.
Really?
Yes. So Sarah Lopez has been the number one compound female archer in the world for over 3 years, and she's 23 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, she's from Colombia, and Linda Ochoa is from Mexico. She has also been in the top 10 in the world for a few years as well. So just to meet some of these women and get to speak to them and even shoot alongside them was just an overwhelming experience to me. I learned a lot from this trip in CAC Games.
Do you know Spanish? Because these people speak Spanish.
I'm still working on it. Maybe one day.
Which are your goals for the next 6 months?
Well, for the next 6 months, I will be studying in Canada. So, it will be, the archery season for this year is closed. Our last national tournament was the last one for the year. So I don't have any other tournaments for the year, but I will be training for 2019. I want to, in January or February, we will have our national indoor tournament here. So I'll be preparing for that, as well as next year is the Pan Am Games in Peru. So Trinidad and Tobago may have a possibility of attending a qualifier for it in April next year. So I will be training consistently for those tournaments.
Well, 2020 is 2 years away, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself in terms of archery competing at an international level consistently, as well as, I'm currently studying sports science at the University of the West Indies. So in the next 5 years, I hope to have finished with my master's because I'm almost through with my bachelor's degree, my undergraduate. So hopefully by then I will be pursuing my PhD in sports. I am thinking about specializing in the fields of strength and conditioning and sports psychology.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a balance with my sport and my studies, but I'm very confident that I will be taking up a big role in sports, if not as an athlete, in the, as a student or, working in that field.
Or coach.
Yes,
Also.
yes.
Describe yourself with one word.
I would definitely say I'm determined because even despite all these struggles that we have financially and, not being able to attend major tournaments, I'm still positive, I'm still sticking with it and determined to achieve my goals. And a lot of people would say that, in sports, especially in Trinidad, it's still only now growing. So there aren't, especially in archery, you don't hear about it a lot. So I think I'm very determined to stick with my goals and achieve great things.
If you are to change something in archery, what would that be?
I think Trinidad and Tobago needs more experience. Our archers, like I have a lot of friends as well who are the top in their categories in archery, and we have so much potential. We have a lot of talent, but we don't get to attend enough tournaments to build on that, to get the experience, because we're capable right now. We have some archers in Medellin at the first Pan American qualifier, and they're shooting great scores. National records are being broken at that tournament right now. And you know, we just need to attend more tournaments, build on that experience, and we can reach the international stage.
How many female archers are in Trinidad?
There are a few. In my category, I think there are 5 of us now, but in the recurve compound woman, recurve woman category, there's a larger number. So in recurve, generally, there are more archers than in compound. Compound archery is still growing. So I can't give you an exact number, but we do have a lot of women coming up, yes, and a lot of young women too.
Are you the only archer in your family?
Yes. My sister has done archery. When I started, like I said, she and I started together, and so she has a background in archery. She knows how to shoot, but she does it more recreationally. She actually shoots air rifle.
Oh.
That's her passion. Mine is archery, hers is air rifle, and my dad is a level 1 archery coach. So I may be the only archery athlete, archer, in the family, but everybody has a role in archery in their small ways, you know.
Speaking about your dad, he's always around. So
yes.
When you went to CSE game without him, how do you feel?
I mean, my dad is the one who is here with me every day when I come out to train. You know, he knows everything that's going on. When I attended one of my first tournaments, I think the first time I competed overseas without him was last year. And because the year before, he went with me, my family went with me. And it's strange not having him there behind me on the line, because he's the one that supports me all the way. My parents support me in a big way. So, you know, at the CSE Games, it would have been really nice for him to be there and to be part of it and see my success too. But when I compete in Barbados, you know, I train over there, and when I have my training partner across there, and her dad is also with her all the time. So, you know, we share that that relationship of always having our parents there to support us. So it was, you know, I wish he could have been there, but at the same time, I know at some point in time I have to do it on my own. Yeah. So,
what is your biggest dream?
My biggest dream, I think that I would love to be in a finals at the World Cup, the Archery World Cup. I would love to qualify for the finals at the Archery World Cup sometime, and that would be my biggest dream as an athlete, as an archer. In sports generally, you know, I want to study sports psychology and strength and conditioning in order to help other athletes later on, because I can't be an athlete forever.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking long term. You know, I love sports and I want to work in sports. I want to build my life is around sports now, and just to continue to develop in sports, not only for my personal development, but also to be able to help other archers, even if not in archery, you know, to help the development of other athletes, because sports psychology is not a common field that we have in Trinidad, and we do need more development in that, because in sports a lot of people focus on physical development and physical strength, but not the mental part of it. And in archery, any archer you meet will tell you that archery is like 95% mental strength rather than physical strength.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that we need more of here.
Indeed. What is one of your most saddest moments? Something that you wanted to accomplish, but you didn't? I'm not sure. Well, that is good. Then you have no sad moment. Everything has been happiness.
I try my best to focus on the positives of every tournament, on the positives of, you know, what comes out of each experience that I have. So I'm not sure. I mean, I have had sad moments, but I'm really not sure.
Because you are a winner. Every competition that she enters, she accomplished something great. That is why she has so many trophies here. From all these trophies and medals.
My coach always tells me, you know, at every tournament you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
You don't lose. You know,
It is like
there's
that.
always something to take out of it.
From all these trophies here, which one is your favorite?
I have a few favorites. This one, for example, was from the first time I represented Trinidad and Tobago. It's from World Archery Americas. This is from the MICA tournament that I took part in as part of a compound women's team for Trinidad and Tobago. And it was the first time Trinidad ever medaled in a tournament. In this tournament, we won silver. You know, and most of these big trophies are from national tournaments here in Trinidad. This one is from the Barbados Independence Shoot, which was last year. And then I have a couple of these, for example, from the First Citizens Sports Foundation when I was nominated, and I won Archer of the Year for those. So,
Tell us a little bit more about this First Citizen Foundation. How do you feel when you got nominated?
Well, how it works is, I think, well, the Archery Federation, well, each sporting body would nominate somebody. So in order for me to be nominated for that, I would be Senior Female Archer of the Year. And that alone is a great privilege. And, you know, being nominated for the First Citizen Sports Foundation it's a big deal. It's, you know, it's exciting to be there and to be recognized as one of the top athletes in the country. So, you know, it was very nice.
What can you tell to the younger archers that are now starting in Trinidad? What the future for them will be like, based on your experience?
Well, based on my experience, in the past couple of years, archery has been growing in a vast way. You know, now when I started, we didn't have major qualifiers for national tournaments. Now we have to, because there's just not enough room to cater for all the archers in Trinidad.
Wow.
So we have to have qualifiers to bring down that number so that we can cater for everybody. And for the younger archers who are now coming up, I would say don't give up. It is going to be a struggle to get to the top, but it is possible. If I can do it, you can do it too, you know. And just stay focused and stay determined. Keep working hard, and there are great things to come because archery in Trinidad is growing, it is developing.
That's fantastic. Where do you get your equipment?
Oh, this type of equipment, everything has to come from, we order everything online, everything has to come from the US. It's manufactured there. You know, you can't get this equipment down here.
Really?
Yeah. So, and then
Wow.
for a compound bow, even for recurves, everything has to be tailor-made specifically for the individual. So, like my bow, it would not be suited for you because it would be a different height, different strengths. Your arm span would be different from mine, so your draw length would be different depending on the distance you have to shoot, and all of those things. It's very, very unique to the individual.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
great. So we know that archery is by far your favorite sport.
Yes.
So what is your second favorite sport?
Well, I'm very much in love with shooting sports. So I think if I had to choose a second sport, it would be shooting. It would be well, air rifle. I'm still underage in terms of getting my firearm user's license, so I'm actually looking forward to when I am of age to, you know, try out those other shooting sports as well. But air rifle would be second, and then apart from the shooting sports, I love swimming. I have never competed in swimming because I only just learned.
Yeah.
But you know, from learning how to swim, I love being in the water. So that might be my third, I guess. Yeah.
What do you have to tell to your friends and supporters out there?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for all your support over the years. You know, it would have been impossible for me to reach this far without the support of my friends and family. And a big part of all my achievements and my success is thanks to you all. And I will continue to make you all proud.
Well, I want to contribute to that. You know, she's going to also continue helping me improve my posture, and in return, I will help you with the Spanish. I will teach you Spanish, so you can go and talk to your role models out there.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I wish you all the best, and on behalf of the Scoreboard team and ACTN TV, we will be following up your career. I hope to see you soon when you come back from Canada, and I am confident that you are going to reach to 2020. So on behalf of all of that, I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
And remember,
Yes.
you have to contribute to this. Sprout, it's a pencil, then you plant it, and then you get a whole garden. You get cucumbers, tomatoes, garlic, and all what you need to do like a really nice Caesar salad. And remember that this initiative is from
Priyanka Dhanie.
Right.
So if you are interested in purchasing a box of pencils, you can contact us at 780-8762. And also you can follow my Facebook page, Priyanka Dhanie, or Instagram at From Fit to Finish. Those are the best ways to contact us. You can message us at any time. The cost of one box of pencils is $200. It contains 8 different pencils, which are 8 different plants. So in one box you get a variety. There's also a list of the variety of plants that we have, and you can help us move one step closer to a more environmentally friendly Trinidad and Tobago.
This has been Solange Guzman and Priyanka Dhanie from Archery. It has been a pleasure to be in your company, and I will see you again. Hasta la vista.